Hey everybody, it's Ally and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about a fragrance that's been sort of on my radar for a while. This year I feel like has been the year of like sort of creamy lactonic fragrances. Lactonic notes, rice notes have been really popular this year. And one lactonic fragrance that was really on a lot of people's mind this year was none other than from the house of Commodity, and this is Milk Orchid. Now, this one is a collaboration, a special collaboration with Perfumerism. She is a content creator on YouTube. She does a lot of content. I think she's considered the queen of like milky perfumes or sort of the milk note. She really loves her milky scents. So this was her take on a milky scent in collaboration with Commodity. The second I heard about this collab, I knew I wanted to get it in my collection or at the very least smell it and see what it smelled like because I did see a lot of influencers online that were really hyping the fragrance up. And that sort of like viral hype always hypes me up as a consumer and it makes me want to buy. And especially right now with people's wallets being really tight, I want to make sure everyone gets a full breakdown of what the fragrance smells like, what it feels like to me. That way you can make your own decision and know if it's something that you want to get for yourself because a lot of the hype online can sometimes be very exaggerated, which is super freaking annoying. At least for me as a consumer, if I find something that personally really like just gets me, like I will make sure to tell you, and if something doesn't, like I make sure to tell you too. I wouldn't want to lie to you because I feel like there's a lot of that going on right now in the fragrance community, which is really irritating because right now with how tight money is for a lot of people, the last thing you need to do is be influenced to buy something that you don't need. And that's what we're going to get into today. Not to say that this is going to lead into a bad review on the fragrance. It's a good fragrance. But I do feel like a lot of the reviews I've been seeing online have been very misleading. Um, in some ways, a lot of people are like, this is the end all be all. You need this fragrance. And they're really pushing for you to buy this fragrance, which I get it. We live in a consumer nation. People want to buy. But right now, like I said, the dollar be a little strict, but we're going to get into it. So this fragrance is supposed to be in line with the Commodity Milk scent. So you have Commodity, the original one, Commodity Milk, and then the darker one that's Commodity Milk. I can't remember, but it's like the other version, and there's this one. And yeah, this is a, like I said, in collaboration with Perfumerism. You've got notes of fig milk. I like that they have it on here too. Like the bottle is kind of your standard sort of commodity looking bottle. I like that this part twists off the cap. It came with a different little cap on top of it. And then it has an option too, which I thought was cool. They send you a little travel size that you could fill and a little thing that screws on here too that turns it into sort of a dropper. So you can like attach the dropper part and then sort of drip it into your travel size. So you have a travel size and your little full size. I thought that was really cool that they did that. It was very just like, I don't know, just neat. I thought it was really nice. I really love that touch with the bottle. But yeah, I thought it was really weird and kind of interesting and kind of cool at the same time. Eh. And yeah, the notes are fig milk, coconut cream, almond blossom. You've got vanilla orchid, warm cotton, magnolia, macadamia milk, and sandalwood. And what does this smell like? Well, to me, I was really expecting to smell something that I had never smelt before. And I think that's where I was a little disappointed. A lot of people were like, this is so unique. It's so niche smelling. There's nothing quite else like this. And I felt like that was a bit misleading, especially from the people that were sent this in PR. I'm not going to throw any shade or like name any names, but there were quite a lot of people that were just really hyping this up and being like, wow, this is so unique. It's so different. It's so this, it's so that. The second I smelt this, you guys, the spray on this is really nice. The second I sprayed this, I'm immediately reminded of three fragrances. This smells like something that Dua Fragrances does If you know Dua fragrances, you know that they're known for their sort of hybrid and tribrid fragrances where they take the DNA of like 2 or 3 really popular niche or designer fragrances and they combine them together. They take like the best elements and create a new fragrance that has the elements of those 2 or 3 fragrances. This to me, immediately when I smelled it, reminded me of 3 fragrances I already sort of have in my collection that I'm sort of like, wow, like I don't feel like I need this. I feel like it's a little redundant and it sort of let me down a little bit, but it's a good fragrance. So let me just put that out there now. I think that Perfumerism did a great job with this collab. I think it is a beautiful fragrance. I do not doubt that this is, I'm not taking away from that. This is a gorgeous fragrance. It's very long lasting. It's potent. It's creamy. It delivers on all the things that it was supposed to deliver on. It is a creamy fig fragrance, but it does smell like 3 fragrances I have already smelled and 2 that I already have in my collection. The opening is very creamy and it reminds me a lot of Blanche Bette. If you are familiar with Blanche Bette or you own the dupe, which I have the dupe, I don't know what I did with my little sprayer. I had a little decant of Blanche Bette somewhere in here. But it smells like this in the opening. It's very creamy coconutty with that hint of floral, and it's very similar to Blanche Bette. The creaminess of the coconut mixing in with the florals is super reminiscent of it. Then, as it starts to settle on the skin, you get a big punch of what smells like Iced Star from Mugler. If you guys know Iced Star, this is one of the funnest releases from this line. It is a sort of like coconutty, sort of tropically scent that has like, I believe it was pineapple, coconut, patchouli, and vanilla in this one. And this smells like sort of a really tropical pina colada. But the note of pineapple in this comes off very figgy. Figgy to my nose can always, not always, but it sometimes really comes off as pineapple-y to me. And that's what I love about fig is it has this sort of like pineapple-y essence, depending on how it's done. And this fragrance, definitely the fig comes off pineapple-y to my nose. So it's mixing in with this creamy, floral, coconutty sort of scent and this sort of figgy, pineapple-y note that's coming off almost like a pina colada. Like if you turn Blanche Bette and you turned it into a creamy, floral, coconutty pina colada scent, you mix these 2 together, that's what this one smells like. If you have these 2 fragrances, I recommend that you layer them together and you're going to get an idea of what commodity milk smells like. But what makes this one so unique is that it's very long lasting and it still has that milk by commodity base. So that very signature base, that woody vanilla, almost burnt sugar sort of feel, it has that in the very like deep dry down. Like after it's completely gone away, the sort of creamy, coconutty pina colada sort of feel, it becomes very woody, like the basically it becomes milk, the original, that sort of vanilla, burnt sugar, sort of woody fragrance, which I like that DNA. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I like it, but I don't love it. This has that, and I'm kind of indifferent to it. I do enjoy the opening. I do enjoy the mid. I enjoy the longevity of the wear, but when it gets to the base and it starts smelling like milk, the fragrance, milk by commodity, I'm kind of like, like I don't know why I was expecting something different. But yeah, you guys, that's pretty much what it smells like to me. Do I think you need this fragrance? Not really. Do I think you need to run out and buy it because it's limited edition? No. But if you can get it and you want to support perfumerism, you want to support, the brand and this collab, then I say go for it. I think it is a good fragrance. But if you have, like I said, this fragrance or Blanche Bette, like you could just layer them together and get a very similar vibe. It's not going to smell identical, but you will get a very strong idea as to what this one is going to smell like. Because it's very much in line with it. And I was kind of like mind blown when I first smelled it because my immediate thought went to those two fragrances. And I was like, there's no way. So I ended up putting this one on this hand and I layered the other two on this hand. And they smelled a little different at first, but when they dried down, they smelled very similar in the dry down. Both came off this very creamy floral pina colada vibe, except that this one dried down to the milk base, that burnt sugary vanilla woody sort of feel. And that was pretty much the main difference. But do I think it's a good fragrance? Yes, I think it's a good fragrance. Do I think you need to run out and get it and break the bank, especially right now with the way the world is? No, I don't. But if you have the extra funds, if you want to support perfumerism, who is amazing, if you want to support, the commodity brand, I say go for it. If you know you love those DNAs and you want something that is going to have like the best of all those DNAs, then I say go for it. It's really beautiful. It's priced at $155 for this size. I think there is only one size. It is limited edition. I don't know if it's going to stay limited edition or if they're going to make it a part of the permanent sort of like staple in their collection because it is so popular. That's always a possibility. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's happened many times with other fragrances like Minuet et Demi by Fragrance Du Bois. That was supposed to be limited edition, a one-time release, and y'all know how that went, and you know my thoughts on that. I was very vocal and upset about it not staying limited edition. Was whatever. It is what it is. I'm over that. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the fragrance. I am, like I said, happy I got to try it. Unfortunately, it's not for me. I'm probably going to pass it along. I do think it is really beautiful. Do I think the hype is a little overhyped? Yeah, just a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I do think the hype is a little much. People over exaggerate online, and I fell for it yet again, and I ended up buying the fragrance when in reality I'm just gonna resell it and probably lose some money on it for reselling it because I've already sprayed it like a couple times. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, you guys. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And yeah, I will link the fragrance down below if it's still available. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to be available anymore. I did a pre-order, so yeah. Till next time, you guys, I will catch you in my next video. Bye!